3. Hello, welcome to Screen Source episode 17 and first of the new year. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I missed all of you. I haven't even had a chance to actually just sit and say hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, also, I kind of knew.
I was going to say, Dylan is not this tall, everybody.
About the cushion.
I'll tell you,
It's a butt pad.
Ah, it's a butt.
He
pad.
has-
You
I just
are
got it,
higher
yeah.
than everybody.
he has
I knew it would come to this.
the power has gone to his head.
This is not good.
I think this means
You have to make the microphone taller.
because I'm so tall now.
Jeez.
This is awesome.
Us.
I have
I'm
a.
going to slouch to really
Yep.
break the,
Emphasize.
make it.
Okay, so what it is I have an incredibly small butt, and it hurts to sit on nearly everything.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. Yeah, that's the definition of humble
That
brag.
must suck. I don't
And
know what
so-
that's like.
is so small, you guys.
Because of it, I got a butt pad, and I got it in the mail today, and I'm pretty excited to be using it. So-
I think we all would have appreciated butt pads.
I really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
equal time.
As soon
for
as we
equal
get
butts.
the
Butts.
funds, I'm just gonna buy butt pads for everyone.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this
Thank
was
you.
out of pocket. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like that's okay,
That's
right?
fair.
That's
Until
fair. Fair is
there's
fair.
more funding for butt pads.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
So, anyways, what are we going to talk about today? Mr. Scott.
I'm thinking about your butt right now. Okay, so
Dylan's butt. Check it off the list.
Yeah. All right. So, lots of things to catch up with the new year. We haven't. A lot has happened since the last time
Damn
we
it.
were.
I'll get this.
We
I
were on
promise.
here. So we are going to talk about New Flight of the Conchords, which I don't know this story. I just saw that it's in the rundown. New Flight of the Conchords. I'm on board. Whatever it is, it's just a tour. If they're just going to shake hands in a stadium and then part ways forever, I'm cool with it. Whatever, as long as I get to see them. We're going to talk about a list of the superhero movies ranked, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. And trailers and nuttiness. And what have we been watching? We've been watching a lot, so we need to get to it.
I can't wait for that nuttiness.
Oh, the nuttiness is coming.
All right. Let's get started right away, I think. Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? All right. Let's do it. I'm going to bring this mouse over, and I'm going to do that.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, I did it.
They
All right.
return.
They return. Whose topic was this?
I think I added it.
I think so.
I think there's very little known about what this is. If it's my reading of it was that it was actually going to be like a 2-hour long, or maybe even an hour long HBO special. So that makes me think, and maybe it's wishful thinking, that it is the return of the actual show, and not just the music. That's what I would prefer. I like their
Yeah.
music, but there's only so many times I can hear that songs. I think the show is where they really shine. The comedy's so good.
Yeah.
So that's my hope, is that it's returning for a little brief 2-hour jaunt back to Flight of the Conchordsville.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, me too. I'm loving it. We have a. If my camera was sitting over there, you'd be able to see it. But
The record.
a Flight of the Conchords vinyl.
Should have set up a
Should have
single.
set it up. Just one camera for that LP.
Let's go back to the vinyl cam. It's still there. Good.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I
Me too.
love Flight of the Conchords.
I love it.
I'm torn about that because I would love to see more episodes and more, band meetings and all that stuff. But I missed out on seeing them live. I went to go to Phoenix to see them on their last tour, and they were sick. Britt was sick.
Britt?
I posted about it, and a friend who had seen them the previous night in Los Angeles or around there said that, yeah, he was like raspy through the performance. So it was the show didn't happen. And then the girlfriend I was with at the time who bought the tickets, we broke up by the time the makeup date happened. So I've never
sorry,
seen.
Scott.
I've never seen.
We'll make it happen. We'll get your girlfriend back,
Or we'll
and
just
we'll get you
No,
to
we
see
don't
that
need to do
concert.
that.
Give us her name. What is her name?
we'll just all go together without
Yeah,
the
you'll
requirement.
be my
of
girlfriend, all of you.
Yep.
We'll all go
Yep,
together.
We'll all go together. It's fine. You
Like
don't
in
need a girl.
We'll
to
rent
go.
a van.
Yep.
We'll go to Phoenix.
Well,
Hopefully,
I mean, I gotta check my schedule.
somewhere better. Hopefully, somewhere better than Phoenix.
Typical.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
All
yeah, I kind of wish it was a full show too, like a full.
I've never seen them live.
Season.
I've just seen bits of them, but yeah, to see more of their world, yeah,
I have a feeling it's just going to be
Music.
Special.
music.
I don't the thing about musical or comedy music or whatever you would call that genre is that it's funny once, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's a funny song, and then it's just the same thing again.
For the last tour, they did write new material.
I'm
They
sure
did
it would
have
be
new
new material,
songs.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just particularly like the banter
yeah.
of Flight of the Conchords. So
All right.
on.
Yeah. The hope is that it's a show. All right, Mr. Kevin.
Ooh.
Catch us up.
So,
I wasn't this the headline.
No, right? So this is a conversation and topic that we talked about a lot, all of the allegations of sexual assault and harassment in the entertainment industry, and this is sort of the culmination of a lot of that. Time's Up, which is a movement for powerful women in the entertainment industry who are creating this organization to basically protect women and men as well who are, victims of sexual assault and harassment, not just in the entertainment industry, but theoretically throughout
Culturally,
the country.
yeah.
Yeah. Like there's like a legal defense fund for people, especially in like, industries where you don't have a lot of protection or so. I think it's good that we've been talking about this. I think this is the first like real step towards actual change,
Right.
like on a industry-wide scale. And so I'm very encouraged by this and hope that it leads to some actual lasting.
And kind of the first time we saw it in motion was the Golden Globes, right?
Golden Globes last week,
Yeah.
which I didn't watch all of it. I did see like some of the highlights, like Oprah's speech.
Oprah's speech.
It was an
which
excellent
was-
Golden Globes.
It was,
Was
really,
it?
really
Okay.
good. I loved when
Oprah
Natalie
was
Portman was
awesome.
like, and here are all the all male directors or something like that.
Yeah.
All
Here are
male
the all male
producers.
All-male
nominees.
Yeah. Directly after Oprah's speech.
And
was
Ron
awesome.
Howard it was on
like,
stage with her, right? He's like,
They all looked so awkward, and it was wonderful.
Good.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys heard, but sadly Aziz Ansari has been.
Yeah, it's the
This
same
one
thing.
is-
Yeah, it's really hard. But
oh,
to
it's
think
new.
about.
I haven't heard. What happened to Aziz? What happened to
He
Aziz?
apparently sexually assaulted a woman last year who he was on a date with, and she called him out recently because she said, you were wearing a Time's Up pin and you sexually assaulted me, so you probably shouldn't be wearing that because that's really
Right. And I mean the same with James Franco.
yeah.
That was brought up again. The
Won a
Instagram
Golden
thing he
Globe.
had.
Yep.
and
Years
all
ago.
the old texts and stuff.
Yeah, and
his
like he
class that he taught too, which was
yeah,
Super
there's-
gross.
so
Yeah.
gross.
It was weird. I saw a Seth Meyers interview, and this was after the Golden Globes. So they addressed all that first, and it was very awkward, and he was very stumbling over his words, trying to answer Seth's question.
Was it Seth Meyers or Stephen Colbert?
It was Seth. It was Seth Meyers.
Okay, 'cause I saw Colbert.
Yeah. And then they talked about the Disaster Artist, and it was light and funny, and they showed a clip, and like the whole audience was like on their side again. It was weird.
That's why I feel like it's really not an appropriate venue on like a late night talk show. Like you don't want to shy away from this issue, but also Stephen Colbert, and he's not going to really push
Right.
back if he's like deflecting or not answering the questions in
Right.
the way that like a seasoned journalist is going to. And so it definitely feels like, oh, let's address this, but in such a softball, like easy way. That it's
Yeah.
like, well, at least we went there, and now
It's
we
like
can
you
move
booked him on
to-
the show, and he was booked to promote something.
Yeah.
And there's probably some obligation to have to promote the thing that he's on there for. But like, yeah, it's a weird. I've seen a number of these, and each time I'm like, this is a weird like conversation.
I think the right call is just to cancel them as a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If like
Probably.
these things come up, it's like,
And they do that a lot. And like at NBC, they can just grab somebody from the news. They usually get like an anchor to come on and talk about stuff, and it's usually a good guest. And yeah, they could easily have done that. Yeah, one of the famous ones I think of, I always go to, is the Rosie O'Donnell show Tom Selleck interview from the 90s. Tom Selleck, at that point, he was doing like Hallmark movies, like made-for-TV movies, and he was on there to promote that. And they talked about the first segment, and then the second segment, Rosie was like, okay, now we're going to have a nice discussion about the NRA, because Tom Selleck had recently come out with ads. He was an NRA member, and he was being a spokesperson for it. And she just railed against him, and it was awkward, and Tom Selleck just held his hands up and be like, look, I came on here to promote a movie, and I did that, and now you're just badgering me, and it was really awkward. I wonder if I haven't seen it in years. I wonder if it's on YouTube. It's got to be somewhere.
I've seen
but
it.
Yeah,
it is really awkward. It makes you really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it was middle of the day. I don't know if that was the right place to have a debate. It wasn't a debate. I mean, it was a one-sided, attack.
Right.
So yeah, it is a weird place to bring that up, and I guess because of like the elephant in the room with all this, they have to say something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's almost at this point, who are you going to have on your show?
right.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next topic: Oprah for president. What do we think?
No.
Yeah, no.
how
We're,
does
She's the leader.
We should be done with celebrities as
I would
presidents.
want-
right?
I would vote for Oprah.
I would
Sorry,
follow
I would.
Oprah into
I mean,
battle.
I would if the choice
also-
was Oprah versus Trump. I would vote for Oprah.
I would vote for Oprah versus anybody.
I like Oprah, but I
When
feel
Oprah runs,
She didn't
I
mess
will
up
vote.
once on that speech.
No, I loved her speech. I thought
like
it was great.
She's really good at talking.
7
So
minutes
was Hitler. Hitler was also
thought
good
it
at
was
talking.
Yeah, Hitler
great.
was a great
However,
orator.
Can
Good.
we not get someone who knows what they're doing in politics to be?
Yeah.
Oprah knows
politician?
what she's doing.
Does she though? She's a celebrity.
She'll find somebody.
I think as far as celebrities go, she would probably do the best job. But I
She
agree, we
would.
kind of need to put an end to this
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get back to
nonsense.
fixing our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ain't
Great
doing
again.
it with reality stars and TV celebrities.
I
mean,
agree.
I say that now.
Saying
I would,
that now,
I'd
yeah.
probably vote for her if I'm being honest.
We would all vote for Oprah.
When that happens eventually,
I would, but I
You
just
will all
feel
vote for
like
Oprah.
I just want a politician. I want someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I want like Kamala Harris or
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren
Yeah.
or like someone who's actually put in the time and effort into being in politics.
Right.
and-
but not a woman, right?
Yes, a woman.
Whoa.
Most definitely.
All
Next
right,
topic.
up next.
Time's up.
Time is
a
up.
black woman. Like Oprah.
New segment.
Rotten Tomatoes released a 50 best superhero movies of all time, and I thought it was pretty cool. And it's all based off ratings and stuff up until the end of 2017. And so I'm just gonna go through the top 10. You guys tell me if you agree. And the weird thing, well, we'll talk a little bit afterwards. But anyways, number 10, the Lego Batman movie came out 2017.
Yeah.
The Incredibles is number 9, 2004.
Okay.
Iron Man, the very first one, is number 8,
That was
I
good.
like the very
Yeah.
2008. Marvel's The Avengers, number 7. That is a 2012 film.
Mhm.
Captain America Civil War, 2016. Spider-Man Homecoming,
Ugh.
also 2017.
Oh, that doesn't deserve
Number
to be up there.
5.
Wait, that was number 5.
That was number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Thor Ragnarok,
Okay,
2017.
I
Yeah.
can get behind
Throw
that.
that one in there, yeah.
Coming in at number 3, The Dark Knight.
I like
Obviously.
that one a lot.
Uh-huh.
Number 2 is Logan, 2017. Number 1, anybody want to take a guess?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
No,
The
I'm gonna go with
first-
Mine.
The first
That's
X-Men
great.
movie.
I agree with you.
or any of Guardians.
X-Men
The
too.
first
Oh, we haven't heard
Guardians
from
of
the
Galaxy.
Guardians.
X2. Yeah, that's a good one.
X2.
Guardians. Bro.
All right, and it is Wonder Woman.
All right.
How could we not
2017.
think of that? Wow.
And so what they did is adjusted scores based off of the year that they came out. For
Okay.
instance, Wonder Woman has currently a 92%, but its adjusted score, I guess, relative to the other, or its a weighted grade, is 108%.
Oh, okay.
I don't
You
get
know,
that
I-
math.
Yeah.
I read that Paddington. So the original Paddington had like 100% like rating.
Really?
And the second Paddington 2 also got 100% rating.
Wow.
I have heard that the second Paddington is really good.
Has anyone seen the first one?
No.
I love. It's
Really?
I've heard it's really
Really?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone should watch Paddington. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
I mean, but
Oh,
I'm just saying,
Paddington.
the thing about Rotten
Adorable.
Tomatoes is like,
Oh.
is Paddington and the best movie ever made,
Yes.
or is it,
Or is it in
Kevin's
fact Lady
spoken.
Bird?
or is it
hot
just
take
like,
glasses. Hot take glasses.
was it just like more like everybody just thought it was good, and nobody thought it was bad? Like that's kind of
Sure.
the way
Right.
that the Rotten Tomatoes works.
Right.
It's like, yeah,
It's quantity, not quality.
Right, yeah.
of-
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Lady Bird. Like, good movie. Sure, yeah, I liked it. Like best reviewed movie of all time.
Right.
That's a little much.
Yeah, I
That's-
totally agree.
I don't think it's quite.
Yeah,
deserving
and
of
the
that
story at the time was it unseated what Toy Story 2 was like the best Rotten Tomatoes
same thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love
basic
Toy
plot.
Story 2, but I would think maybe a movie of higher quality would be more divisive. Like some critics would like it, some critics wouldn't. So.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you guys have chosen for the number one?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Really?
I love Spider-Man 2.
My favorite.
That
That
was
is really interesting because I those are my least favorite. Those would be
You're
at the very
I haven't
bottom.
seen
I hate
the
Spider-Man
Tobey
1, 2,
Maguires
3.
in a while.
They hold up.
Spider-Man 2 was
I do like them.
good, and I like the first two definitely. So I'd have to go back. I said the first X-Men movie because it's kind of a
I also
wild
like
card.
X-Men 2.
X-Men 2, yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I like
I
that
really liked the feel of the first X-Men movie
I did too.
because it was kind of the first of this new
It started
era
this-
of
yeah.
superhero movie, and I always loved the X-Men, and it was one that I knew all the characters and I knew all the cameos that they didn't really address, and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I totally
Um,
agree.
Like that was a solid film.
I'd say one that doesn't belong in top 10 is the Incredible. No, I'm just kidding. Lego Batman movie. I actually
Yeah.
didn't enjoy
I
it
thought
that
it was
much.
okay. I
even
thought it was
seen
funny.
that.
I
but
thought it
don't
was
think,
funny,
I
not
don't think
Lego
it was
movie
top
funny.
10.
No, it was not
Yeah.
Lego movie
No.
funny.
Right. I enjoyed it. And I think it was very, like, a lot of people liked it. Like, it was a fun movie to definitely to take your kids.
But I
But
can't believe Guardians didn't get on that list.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised too. I thought
I really
again.
love the first
I think
Guardians. I don't know.
you think that it is funnier at least. Do you think that Thor's better than the Guardians films? Ragnarok, that is.
I don't say I would. I wouldn't say Thor Ragnarok was better. It's hard for me to like judge Marvel movies as complete pieces now because they're so connected to the rest of the universe.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but like Guardians, the first Guardians felt like a very fully fleshed out, like independent thing.
it could be separate from everything
yeah,
else.
and
It
I
was
like
its own
the-
thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say Guardians, the original Guardians, is probably better than Thor Ragnarok, but Thor Ragnarok was funnier and quite entertaining.
I'm not surprised that Iron Man was on there because that was the first of the MCU.
Yeah.
And
It's really
I'm always surprised. I always forget that The Incredibles is a
They're
superhero film.
superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They
should
have
be
their
number
whole
one.
world.
I really was. I'm happy that Wonder Woman is on that list though.
Because that was
I
a good,
think
yeah, solid.
It was really like game changer for those movies. So,
It's like really been the only good one of the DC movies,
right?
Right.
It really has been, unfortunately.
By a
Yeah.
wide margin.
Yeah, it's weird that all of these. I think all of them are Marvel, right? Marvel.
And
no,
Disney.
no.
Besides Dark
Number
Knight,
3 is Dark Knight, so the top 3 are 2 DC
but those are
films.
my favorite
Right.
Batman movies.
And Incredibles is Pixar, Disney, but they're all Disney. We're all going to be Disney one day.
Yeah.
Disney's
Hi, my name is
Me.
Jason Disney.
All right, moving on. Headlines, etc. Does somebody want to take one? Take a shot?
Well, I will take the first one.
Cool.
Because I picked this one and it kind of ties in with the
Yay.
whole superhero thing. But Black Widow is going to get its
marrying
own,
Olaf.
in a way, spiritually.
She's eyeing him. Look at that right there.
She's like, I
She is
hate
like-
you,
Ew.
Olaf.
I'm
melting
not
him with
No.
her
I'm
eyes.
not dating the Hulk anymore. I'm dating. Black Widow solo film is moving forward with a screenwriter who has written for The Blacklist, and the reason Olaf's there wrote Olaf's Frozen Christmas.
No, no,
So we're in good hands. Then.
no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The article I read said a lot of things, but it
Yeah.
said that they did write the Coco short, the Frozen thing, but it's not necessarily the writer's fault that it was so bad. I don't know.
Right.
There are a lot of things wrong with that thing.
Huh.
But
That's
anyway, so it kind of it's they still haven't found a director. They're thinking maybe 2020 is when we'll see this movie.
Blacklist is a television show, right?
Yes, it's
Which-
on NBC. James Spader is
James
in it.
Spader.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that one. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and so they're moving ahead with a Black Widow movie. So that means that I think all of the Avengers, the actors that play them, their contracts are up technically after the fourth Avengers film.
Okay.
So this means that potentially there will be more Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow after the fourth film.
Yeah, potentially their first female protagonist.
Yeah.
Solo solo female
And
film
the-
for.
Isn't Captain Marvel coming out
Yes.
next year? Or
Oh,
something?
okay.
Oh, that's
So
true. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
They'll
yeah.
she's
beat him
gonna
to
be the
it.
first.
And that will be awesome because it's Brie Larson, who I really
Yeah.
like so much.
And so it said that this is probably going to be part of Phase 4 or whatever of the master plan of superhero movies for Marvel. And this, barring any other cameos she might do in films until then, this will be her the character's 8th appearance
Wow.
in a Marvel film without having
So one
her
of the
own-
most, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's
She's always been like pretty B, maybe even C line storyline.
Yeah.
For most of the films.
But yeah, there's definitely something fun there. I mean, she's
Yeah.
an interesting character.
Sure,
so
sure.
She has a really interesting past, which I'm looking forward to getting to know more about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she always seems like she's struggling as the character itself.
Yeah.
Does anybody know any others? Otherwise, I can just start going.
I can kind of guess.
Sure.
It looks like, is that Kiernan Shipka from Mad Men?
Yeah.
He's going to be playing Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, okay.
Is
The
this like a Netflix thing or what's it?
it is a spin-off of Riverdale,
Oh.
and so my
CW.
assumption is
Ah.
it'll also
CW.
be on CW.
Yeah, moody.
Interesting.
Yeah, super moody. I've been kind of watching
I've heard
Riverdale.
it's fun.
I like it. It's
People
fun.
at work
real
ask
fun.
me if I've seen Riverdale, and I'm just like, I've still not.
Very like over dramatic.
Yeah.
But it's like this like rides this line of like really good high quality with production and stuff too, but also just like why am I still watching
It's
this?
very
you know?
cheesy.
Yeah,
Nerdist
well,
describes it
okay.
as like
it
the
reminds
show.
me of Gossip Girl. It reminds me exactly of Gossip
Does it?
Girl.
Okay.
Yep. Like Archie comic style Gossip Girl is what it is. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many hamburger eating contests are there?
There have been 0 so far.
I was disappointed.
Not a
about
focus. It's people are kind of calling it like a Twin Peaksy.
Yeah.
There's a murder mystery involved.
Okay.
And throughout the entirety of the storyline, but then you see like like catty cheerleaders and. things
Is
like
anyone
that.
talking backwards in a very fancy room?
No.
Oh, okay.
Does that happen in Twin Peaks? I haven't gotten that far.
Oh, yeah.
I
Long
did get
shots
to that point.
of a man sweeping for 5 minutes.
Here
Is
is
there any of that?
here.
And it's not Twin Peaks.
You've watched Twin Peaks. Ewan McGregor.
What did he do?
Time is
What
up.
did he do?
Anytime you see a picture of a man.
Oh, God.
Ewan, time
looks
is up.
like
No,
Leo.
Ewan has been caught working out. That is really the gist of it.
On what?
On a machine.
Oh, I see.
Also has the same beard hair as his character Obi-Wan Kenobi, and so the ether is everybody's making the assumption that Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film.
Oh.
I can't say solo film anymore
Because of the solo.
because of the solo film. Obi-Wan Kenobi solitaire film.
Solitary
Solitary
film. Yeah.
film
I think
is
it
coming
just
out.
should be a movie of Obi-Wan playing solitaire for
Playing solitaire.
2.5 hours.
Probably what he did for a lot of the time. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, he got really good.
But even though people dislike generally the prequels, at least
the
that's what the
best part
consensus
about
has been over time. A lot of people do like Ewan McGregor, and they liked his character,
Yeah.
and so
Him and Liam were,
people
like-
seem to be excited.
Two most solid actors, I think, on the.
And I mean, that's a
Yeah.
interesting storyline that would make a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Obi-Wan is a big part of the storyline for the Clone Wars, and so I'm really excited to see that character expanded.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyone else?
looks
Something
like
about The Office. It looks like.
Yeah,
I don't
The
know.
Office. Yeah,
Exactly.
potentially
Office is
coming
coming
back.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just more, see, like they do Will and Grace?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
talking about filming or it being released or being filmed by the end of the year.
Wow.
I can't remember which, but
With all the same actors.
minus Michael.
Oh.
No,
He's
they're
the
not all
best
coming
one.
back, right?
Well, I know Michael won't be there, and I don't know about the rest of them.
I think it's supposed to be, from what I read, and I might be wrong, is that
Or Steven,
some of them are going to be back, but some of them won't. I highly doubt John Krasinski
Right.
will be back.
Right. He's one of the bigger
you know,
ones now.
Probably some of the bigger names, but I think they're just going. It's like jumping into what the office is like now with
Sure.
the new workers who work there and the old workers who are still there.
Yeah, a lot of turnover in
so
the
there
companies, so they have new
Yeah.
people.
It's
Yeah,
not like
I
a
heard
reboot
it-
or anything.
Yeah, I heard it's a continuation of the story, which ended when? 3 years, 4 years
It's-
ago,
4 years
Yeah,
ago, 3 or
wow.
4 years
something
ago,
like
I
that.
think so.
Yeah, and so it hasn't been
Feels longer.
it hasn't been that long though. Yeah, realistically, so to see it come back, it doesn't feel like everything else, at least not as much, where we're just rebooting things that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Sure, Will and Grace is from what, the 90s?
Right.
When was Will and Grace?
And
90s,
goddamn, it
late
is hitting
90s,
hard. It's
early
so
2000s.
good.
Uh-huh.
This reboot.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Really, really.
Very,
I
very
think I think I'm excited for this Office. I think
Yeah.
that it's like it's never going to be probably like what it was, but like for a lot of the actors that are on that show, they're not going to be doing much else anyway. So
Right.
I mean, because they weren't actors, they were just people who were on the crew and
Yeah.
in the background who got these parts, and like I would love to see what they're up to. And I for one appreciated, and I think you can find a Michael Scott archetype in a lot of comedians.
Oh yeah.
And I appreciated when they brought in like the parade of other comedians, and they all did their weird neurotic boss thing. So
Idris
Yeah.
Elba and
Will Ferrell.
Ferrell and Jim
James
Carrey, I think, was there.
Spader.
Yeah.
I love Spader's
Spader was
character.
great.
That was
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they can do a really good job, especially if they bring in some like new, fresh comedy. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll see.
Quentin Tarantino's newest film that is
Star Trek, right?
he's doing another one
doing
also.
the
Remember,
Manson.
he's doing the
Oh,
Manson
that's right,
film.
the Manson movie, yeah.
And
Did he cast him?
I don't believe that he's cast necessarily as
please.
Manson, but he's in the film.
That's what I
is
read,
we
yeah.
know.
It's
I was
not
gonna say,
Manson,
he
but
would not be. A
He's
good
too
Manson.
old.
yeah.
first
Maybe
of
he
all.
maybe
You think
could
so?
Remember
be-
when he played Jay Gatsby, like 15 years older than Jay
Yeah.
Gatsby?
Maybe he'll be like
was.
Tex Watson,
And it-
Watson or
I mean, he was a really good.
Squeaky from.
Oh, and the guy he played in The Aviator. He was
open.
really good in The Aviator.
Sure, but,
But
yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean.
And he was too young in that one.
He's-
This will be
yeah.
Quentin's first film outside of Weinstein Company. What was it
Nice.
called? The Weinstein Company.
Weinstein Company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Miramax and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Miramax.
Yeah,
first and then-
Miramax.
Cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for a. It would be cool if they got a kind of an unknown for the Manson role. Mm-hmm. Because
Yes.
Leonardo
please.
DiCaprio would be a little distracting.
Yeah.
I agree it'd be distracting, but I don't know. He's one of my
he's
favorite actors. I
pretty
feel like
much
he'd
Sure.
kill
good
it.
in
Yeah.
Everything he does. He's good in a lot of things that he does.
Because of his character in Django, which is when they last collaborated, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then finally, it looks like the
Yeah.
Animaniacs is
Are
coming
coming
back.
back.
Coming back. You must be excited. You're a
Absolutely.
huge fan.
That show still holds up.
It does.
It was written in a way you get the feeling that the people that wrote it were making themselves laugh. They were doing it for them, and if kids liked it, that's cool too. Because some of those jokes were
For
just way over kids' heads, and like they hold up. They did a whole Les Miserables bit with animals, and like kids don't fucking know what Les Miserables is, but they did parody of the songs. It was brilliant.
It taught me a lot about pulp culture
Yeah.
when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Also, it's just hilarious.
And the countries of the world, the state capitals, they have all these great songs.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's good stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
Should be fun.
Voice actors are top notch.
All right. Our next segment is coming soon, and now with Post Tomatoes, which always comes after.
Pre-tomatoes.
Pre-tomatoes.
I
We
mean,
did it.
before. I messed up this time.
We did it.
God damn it. I said
It's your
before.
fault, Dylan.
Or I said after. I said after.
My brain's
don't-
really bad with that, like
The before
post
and
and
afters.
pre and mixing them up. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because it's post, but only because it's following last week.
Right.
Right. And so last week, what came out was Phantom Thread, Black Mirror season 4, and Star Wars.
Not
Yeah. Okay.
last
So
week.
obviously we've
Last
been gone for about a
show.
month.
Yeah.
Star Wars, eh?
Yeah. That's all right. Because what we do generally every week is we make Rotten Tomatoes score guesses collectively as to what we think each of the three major things that were coming out from the last week. And so let's just get started. The Phantom Thread, we thought it was going to be 94, but the actual score was. Did you
Retail
guys
price.
change your minds about that at all? By the way, anybody watch it?
No, I had the opportunity when I was in LA. It's not out here yet to see it in 70 millimeter, but I didn't get the chance, and I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Guess what it is? It is a 91.
Pretty
close.
Pretty good.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Mirror season 4. I'm assuming you guys all watched that.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It
God
was
damn it.
all right.
Ooh.
I liked some of it. Wasn't as solid as the last season. I don't.
I agree.
I agree, but
I agree.
I agree.
it's still, but like,
There were
I don't
some
know, like the
episodes that
bars
were-
are so goddamn high
There's
for
still a
these
level
shows.
of quality that Black Mirror consistently
Right.
hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
It got 94.
Wow.
All
I
right.
would have given it more, actually, closer to our score.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Still good.
And lastly, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi,
90.
94, and it has a 90.
Okay.
Ooh.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think it deserves higher than that, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
90,
You weren't
92
disappointed
maybe?
by the change of the tomes and the folklore?
I liked it.
I
I
liked
liked
Yeah,
it.
I'm okay
Okay.
with it.
I don't know that there was much of like huge changes.
Isn't there like all these writings or something that everybody's upset that like 30 years of
Oh,
writing
like
that
extended universe stuff.
Well-
Yeah. They kind of got rid of that when Disney first took it over.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
if they're still
new-
bitching about that, get over it, in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it was weird and different in a way that I was looking for, and I enjoyed that. It was very campy.
Yeah, that's been
Yeah.
one of my worries about Disney doing Star Wars, was that it wouldn't ever be as weird as the originals
Mhm.
were, and this one was weird in a
Like Luke
new,
drinking the milk.
interesting.
out
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
weird
felt
alien
like
boot.
even though it changed a lot of what the originals
Mm-hmm.
were doing, it still felt like in spirit it was closer to what
It was-
Star Wars.
And it was trying something different. It was
Yeah.
doing something new. And I always tend to be a fan of pieces of art that splits the fans. Like, oh, a new album by a band, and like, oh, I don't get it. Oh, but like, it's the band wanting to do something different. And so they do something different, and not everyone's on board. I just want to hear the hits, blah, blah, blah. But this was kind of that movie for Star Wars fans, and some are vehemently against it. And I just think that's great.
I'm vehemently for it. All right, now we have coming soon now with Pre-Tomatoes. And so what is coming out next week? Somebody want to give a rundown?
Black Lightning,
Black Light.
Mhm.
Does that have anything to do with Dynamite?
12 strong.
Nope.
Nope. 12 strong.
Which was filmed here, and I know a number of the actors.
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I can't read that.
Den of
Den of Thieves.
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 Thighs.
Glasses. I
Den of
guess.
The
Thighs.
Den of Thighs.
Thighs.
A lot of thighs.
There's
Now
a lot of
it's
thighs in that
It's a,
picture.
Got to worry about them
Like, what is that,
fives.
8
rated
thighs?
X movie. Den of
Neurotic.
Thighs.
So Black Lightning, I think, is DC.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Really?
This is like a
yeah, and I think it's
TNT series, right? Or something?
Is it? I imagined it was going to go with the rest of the DCs over at CW. Is that where they live?
I don't know. I
Ah.
I was
Oh,
where
that's
like
one
the
of those.
Flashes and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
Superwoman or Supergirl wasn't originally on CW, was it? I thought it was on like CBS or something.
I don't know. Is you getting me some up to date information?
Well, it is going to be CW.
Yes. So, yeah,
on the
DC.
16th. So
Okay.
yeah, this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
So-
this
Neither
character.
do I.
Fictional superhero appearing in American comic book DC. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, whatever.
Thrilling.
Yay.
Okay.
Another superhero thing.
He looks like he has lightning hands.
Yep. That is pretty cool if he has lightning hands.
Yeah.
It's like force lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
12 Strong. That's the 9/11 film, I think.
Mm-hmm. With John
is
Chris.
Well, they're cowboys.
Where?
Scary.
How did horses factor into
No, not
that?
John.
I think they made their way out to
The
the
guy
Middle
from Thor.
East. And this
Oh,
is
okay.
this is
Oh,
our
like
this is
after-
Americans
okay.
in the Middle East
Okay.
afterwards.
Like-
Yes.
I've seen this
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched the trailer here actually.
Was it the Tom
Okay,
Petty
right.
song one?
I think it was. Yes, it was the Tom Petty song, which was and there was actually one part of the trailer that was a little kind of crazy with the guy that had he had the C4 or whatever strapped to his chest. I don't know if you remember that part. No.
I was too
Wasn't
busy
memorable.
making fun of the song.
Yeah, you were. And Den of Thieves, that is 50 Cent on there. I don't know much about that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
think they
these are the kind of the bigger
It's not
things
very
coming out this
promising
week.
this week.
So knowing nothing about any of these movies,
Right,
/
exactly.
TV shows.
What are the Rotten Tomato scores that we are going to give
Oh.
them? Let's start
Can we
with
just
Black
give a
Lightning.
50 across the board?
I'd be
I'm
okay with
fine
it.
with
I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
50
I'm
across
You
the
wanna
board.
do it?
Speed things up here.
All right.
So potatoed.
50
Fitty, fitty, fitty.
Yep.
cent.
Cent. Fitty, fitty, fitty. That's like $1.50 right there.
$1.50. All right. The rest of the things coming out this week. Does anybody know anything about these ones?
No,
We got The
Blue
Open
Planet
House.
2.
We have Hot Streets and Blue Planet 2.
Blue Planet 2. That's
Is
exciting.
Nice.
Hot Street's like a Adult Swim cartoon?
I believe it's Adult Swim,
Okay.
and the only reason I put it on here is because